It did not begin with an explosion. It began with a number, $5 billion. That's how much General Motors expects to lose this year. Not from a recall or a strike, but from a war that no one voted for. A conflict without tanks, missiles, or a battlefield. A tariff war. And the first victim is neither a Mexican manufacturing nor a European dealership, it's General Motors itself. Just a few weeks ago, the business was riding high on record truck sales and Wall Street confidence. That optimism has disappeared. The figures are public. The warning was apparent. General Motors lowered its profits estimate and informed investors that new tariffs, particularly from China, Mexico, and Europe, will cost the business up to $5 billion by the end of this year. $5 billion is gone, not from mismanagement, but from geopolitics. This is a nonpartisan story. It's not an ideological one. This is a true tale. Because what is going on right now, as of June 3rd, 2025, is nothing short of an industrial knife battle that might rip through the whole American car sector. And General Motors only took the first cut. Before we proceed, please click the like button to help us defeat the YouTube algorithm and show your support. The problem is more than just tariffs on finished vehicles. It is a network of pieces, components, and materials that traverse boundaries in ways that politicians deny exist. A wire harness made in Mexico, a circuit board made in Malaysia, and a rare earth magnet mined in Inner Mongolia are all taxed, delayed, or prohibited entirely. When that supply chain stutters, the entire vehicle stops moving. General Motors CEO Mary Barra met with the president in March to clarify one point. If these tariffs become permanent, General Motors will have to rethink its whole manufacturing strategy. Some plants may reduce in size, others may adjust their attention, some may quietly shut down. It isn't because General Motors wants to move work abroad, it's because the tariff calculations no longer add up. Meanwhile, General Motors is rushing to modify its truck manufacturing lines in Indiana in order to increase domestic output. What's the goal? Soften the blow, rebuild margins, and survive. Because General Motors recognizes that the true conflict is not about steel or semiconductors. It is about who will govern the future of mobility and at what cost. And the prices are increasing.
On June 3rd, a United States federal appeals court reinstated tariffs that had been temporarily suspended, including a 25% charge on autos and auto components imported from Canada and Mexico. The word from Washington is unequivocal. You pay to develop beyond the border, even if your headquarters are in Detroit. But here's the twist. Under the terms of the United States-Mexico-Canada agreement, automakers can still qualify for tariff reductions if they fulfill stringent regional content standards. That implies General Motors vehicles made in Mexico, as long as they contain enough North American parts, may incur tariffs closer to 15% rather than 25%. Better, but not ideal. Because when you're exporting hundreds of thousands of items each year, even a 10% tariff difference may wipe out your profit margin. Mexico's economic minister acknowledged that General Motors had already redirected some components to assure compliance, preventing the worst-case scenario for the time being. However, the lifeline is just temporary. Any deficiency in stated U.S. content might result in retroactive levies, which means millions of dollars in fines could be imposed all at once, with no chance for discussion. This is the line that General Motors is currently walking. Compliant one week, exposed the next. The situation in the Pacific is deteriorating. China has not only increased tariffs on U.S.-made autos, but it has also halted exports of crucial minerals. The ones required for every electric motor, battery pack, and power control system that General Motors employs in its Ultium platform. Gallium, germanium, and rare earths. These are more than simply commodities, they are the lifeblood of the next-generation automobile. Without them, you cannot construct the future. And as of this month, they no longer flow freely. German manufacturers feared that Chinese export curbs might halt manufacturing. General Motors, which obtains many of its magnets and metals from overseas vendors, is facing the same danger. And while Beijing says that the limits are for national security, every analyst understands what they truly are: leverage. General Motors may relocate assembly, retool operations, and even eat $5 billion. However, it cannot produce what it cannot get, and thus the clock is ticking. Across the Atlantic, another storm is formed. The European Union has planned roughly 100 billion euros in retaliatory tariffs, aimed primarily at American autos and airplanes. The list covers passenger sedans, pickup trucks, and hybrid components. Brussels is not lying. They are strongly opposing the steel and aluminum price increases in the United States. The Detroit Three, General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis, have delivered subtle warnings to Washington. These actions may have a long-term negative impact on our competitiveness in Europe. The issue is not political, it is structural. Customers in Europe who were previously devoted to American products may soon find them overpriced or unavailable. Before we continue, please press the subscribe button to show your support for the channel. Meanwhile, General Motors is rewriting its own strategy in real time. The corporation revealed in May that it will close its experimental luxury export operation to China, known as the Durant Guild. Not because it failed, but because the math is no longer valid. Tariffs of more than 100% on US-built automobiles rendered the brand unsellable. The factory survives. The autos are ready. However, the market no longer exists. Back home, General Motors is seeing a short-term sales boost. Buyers of trucks and SUVs are flocking to dealerships in an attempt to beat anticipated price rises. However, executives understand that this is all a ruse, a sugar high. When inventory runs out and fresh orders have tariff-loaded charges, sales will decline dramatically. What happens next is something no one is prepared for. If trade discussions break down further, retaliation increases, and additional minerals are limited, General Motors and other companies will confront an untenable option: increase prices, reduce jobs, or withdraw from markets. Neither of those are victories. All of these result in losses. This represents the true cost of a trade war in 2025. It does not resemble a battlefield. It resembles a balance sheet saturated in crimson ink. Beyond the factories, the ripple effects are only beginning. Suppliers that formerly relied on General Motors' regular volume are now facing delayed orders, cost renegotiations, and the danger of contract cancellations. Small firms from Ohio to Ontario are currently stuck between escalating material costs and large manufacturers' refusal to pay more. A supplier in Michigan who wanted not to be identified said that they had already been told to quote 2 versions of each item, one for a tariff scenario and one without. That ambiguity, amplified by hundreds of part numbers, does more than merely slow down the process. It paralyzes it. The same immobility is manifesting on Wall Street. Investors who were previously positive on automotive electrification are now asking if the tariff era will halt the trend of electric car adoption. If resources remain trapped behind Chinese barriers, if Europe closes its doors, and Mexico's incentives diminish, even the most optimistic estimates begin to crumble. What about consumers? They are not spared. Analysts believe that if present tariffs are maintained until the end of the year, the average price of a new vehicle in the United States might jump by up to $3,000. Tariffs are levies, not because manufacturers want to charge customers more. Taxes always trickle down. Used automobiles may also be caught in the conflict. As the cost of new cars rises, so does demand for older automobiles. This might cause secondary market inflation, making even basic mobility inaccessible to working families. The worldwide competition is keeping a close eye on everything as it happens. Automakers in South Korea, Germany, and even China are looking for ways to fill the void left by a struggling General Motors. In places where U.S. automobiles have been tariff poisoned, replacements are already arriving at ports. The question today isn't whether the harm is genuine. The issue is how deep it goes and if General Motors can halt the bleeding before it gets worse. Customers abandon American-made products because they no longer consider them a credible option.